Because we start acting like I got titties. Hey y'all, what's going on? It's your boy Kris Avalon. Welcome to a brand new episode of On the Line, where we're going to talk about all things celebrity news and pop culture. This episode is going to be real gay, real campy, and real messy. Which is why, for that reason, I had to bring in a very special guest, the one and only Lindsay Aguilera in full geesh. Oh my God, Maintain's in the building. Ow! Bring her in, bring her in, bring her in. Where is Lindsay? Bring in Lindsay. There she be, there she be. Ow, ow, ow.
Hello.
Yes, finally, we are together on camera, not just at work, but we're doing what we've been talking about doing for the past year and some change. But I brought you on in the form of On the Line. Yes, we're still working on our little top secret show that we're going to be bringing sometime in the summer. I'm not going to reveal the name and all this stuff yet. But yeah, this is a little trial run. Just wanted to bring you on. We're going to talk about hot topics. We did talk about the stuff we're going to talk about. So we're going to have a good show. Don't be nervous. Yes. Everything's going to be good. So in regards of any of the New Year's stuff, did you see any of the New Year's performances that happened? I mean, I caught up on YouTube recently, but because I missed it, because you know the situation that happened. You and I were working, and we missed everything.
We are not
on YouTube, so I managed to catch up and watch a lot of the performances, like J-Lo's hot mess of a performance. Yes, she looks great, but girl, dream on. I'd rather you give me a Xanax. That shit was a mess. But I don't know how you felt. I know we're just jumping right into it. I don't know how you felt about the performance, but okay, let me give my opinion real quick, and then I'll let you say what you got to say. So when I watched her performance, first of all, that mask that she had on, she was giving me Madonna from the Rebel Heart era with the barbed wire all over her face. Then she came out dressed like some cake that nobody at a quinceañera would even touch. Then she came down. I'm like, wait a minute. So how did she get out of? Did I miss something? Did I go and look at my phone or turn away for something? Because all of a sudden she started coming down the stairs, descending down the stairs like she was Norma Desmond in that pantsuit, and then went into doing this Prince moment. We are gathered here to discuss something in this world called life. Before he went into Let's Go Crazy, she was giving me the whole scripted talk or whatever, and then all of a sudden jumped in and started doing If You Had My Love, the slow version.
Let me tell you first.
Started doing Dream On.
Let me tell you. First of all, it's rare to perform If You Had My Love, so I was just happy about that alone.
Nadine, you are a mess. She said, A-Rod had to give her a massage after that slide she did. I don't know if you can see the comments and stuff on the side.
I see it, yeah.
Oh, you do? Yeah, so yeah, people, one of the things about this show, y'all, you can actually, it's live, and y'all can jump in and comment, and we will definitely read what y'all got to say. Raquel Banker said, shady, shady. And it will pop it up in here so also we can see what y'all saying. But I don't know. I don't think my comment was shady enough. I love the razzle dazzle J-Lo. I like when she got the blowing hair and the Beyonce fan and all that stuff going, and the choreography and the pyrotechnics. I love J-Lo the performer. But I really wish she would just take a moment and figure out who she is as a musician and just give me the razzle dazzle. I don't need you to don't prove to us you can sing. Girl, we know the tea. So I want performance, because she is a performer. She's a great performer. She outdances Britney on a good day.
Yes.
And Britney had her moment back in the day. But I just give me what you're good at. And I even said at one point she should just stay with what Mark Anthony was trying to steer her towards with the music and go more the Latin direction. Like she could do the whole, Spanish dance, reggaeton, that sort of thing. Like do that. But she wants to prove she wants to prove she's Mariah. But I'm sorry. What did you have to say?
Let me tell you.
Because Mariah did throw shade at her at the New Year's event.
I'm glad you said that. But you are throwing full-blown shade on Miss J-Lo. Honest opinions, listen.
I'm trying to be messy on purpose.
She's super iconic. She is a performer. She has the accolades. And listen, with every performance, whether you're a celebrity or not, or a worker, you have off days, you have super, super duper great days, and you have pure excellence. This may not have been it for her, but it
Mm-hmm.
is New Year's Eve, the stage this big. And from what I understand and from what I've
Well, there
seen,
are
it
drag
looks like
queens that have
she
performed
had
on
to
smaller
turn.
stages.
Well, yes, but okay, she came from the Super Bowl, killed it,
Oh,
performed
yes.
magnificently. That is like this, okay, this
Y'all
music.
gonna hate me for saying this, but I think Shakira gave the better performance.
Well, we're not even talking about that. Don't even get me started with that. We're just talking about J Lo itself. And my thing is, I think, not I think, she looked great. Now,
She
performance
did.
wise, no, but I'm not upset about it because it was but a 3 minute little show with the stage, but so big. It's like, for me, it's like, I think, had she done something like this on the Super Bowl or at the award show, the show she did with Maluma recently, like, she has been killing it nonstop. That I feel like if this wasn't her
I
best
heard
show,
Maluma
I
was
wouldn't
there.
mind it.
I heard
Have you?
Maluma was there where she was at. Why didn't she bring him on stage and perform?
You know what it is? I think it's from what I understand, for TV, a celebrity has is able to appear but so much, which is why like at the VMAs, like I believe like at an award show, you're only able to perform twice, and uh only at two different award show. Like you can't perform at the VMAs, Billboard Awards, Grammys. Like
That's
yeah,
stupid.
it's a marketing type of thing. From what I
I do
understand,
agree,
that's
Nadine. She said she needed to perform Pati. I do like that song though.
she was a
I
good
don't like that
performer.
other song that she was doing, and I don't like that song she performed. The one where she thought she was Madam X or Rebel Heart Madonna. I didn't like that. I did not like. I don't like that song. That song sounded like something Selena Gomez should attempt to sing. I just didn't think that was a good song for like someone.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an ageist, but for someone who is 51 years old, she should not be singing that. Like that song sounded like it was written for a 22-year-old.
How? I can't believe it. I can't believe
But
it. It's a good song.
not for her though. And then to me, it's too short. Like by the time I actually that song sits in my spirit, it's over. So I'm
Well,
like,
I mean,
I don't
you
like
can
songs that's under
understand that most
3 minutes.
of
I
the
have a
songs we
problem with
have
that. That's
now.
kind of like why I had a problem with Dua Lipa's album. Dua Lipa's album is very damn like a lot of those songs is really short. I wanted the songs. I like I like a little length.
Yeah.
I'm not a size queen, but I like a little length.
I'm not a size queen, but I want a little length. Yeah. No, no, no. I mean, think about it though. This generation right now, our attention span is but this big. Like right now, everything we try to consume in our brain is the amount of time that a TikTok video shows up. And I think that's only but a minute long. Everyone is consuming everything so fast. That's been like that for the longest time. Now, when we have celebrities like whether it's Dua Lipa or the Madonna or the J Lo, when we really like those artists, we want more from them. So of course we want like a 4 minute song and whatnot. But I think a 2 minute song is just about right. It gets to the point. It's very catchy. I think I learned this type of amount of time where music length is from the Spice Girls. If you notice, most of the Spice Girls songs are no more than like 2 minutes and 50 seconds long. It's really short, it's really catchy. The chorus repeats itself, and then you're done. And I think
Wait, wasn't Two Become One a long song? I could have sworn that song was close to 4.5, 5 minutes.
yeah, but the
I
rest
do
of the
love
other
that song
nine
though.
songs are like 2 minutes long. The album itself is like each album is no more than like a 40-minute song. You can literally listen to it on the train to and from work, and the album's done. As opposed to other albums like the Madonnas or the Mariahs, it's like an hour and 20 minutes long, an hour and 30 minutes long. It's
Shout
short.
out to Mariah for shading J Lo though when she was being interviewed by Andy Cohen. She was like, "What's that noise in the background?" That was messy, but you can't blame her for being messy when Andy's coat snorting ass is being messy too.
Mm-hmm.
He need to stop riding that white horse.
I felt
And
like that was totally done on purpose, and it's like, okay, we get it. Like at this point, we get it. Like Mariah, you look real thirsty, and you do because you trying to make yourself seem like that diva who's like, I don't care, I'm this, I'm at this caliber, whatever. But yet, you're still trying to catch someone else's attention when J-Lo pays no mind to you. Like you.
I think Mariah is deeply insecure, and she mentions how like her insecurity. If you actually heard the meaning of Mariah, you definitely would know like she is deeply insecure. And I agree, Remy. Andy knew exactly what he was doing. Of course he did. That's why he was being the messy bottom. And had the nerve to call Anderson Cooper's son a bossy bottom. I'm like, bitch, anybody a big old bottom than that queen who likes to have black men sign NDAs before he has sex with them, because he tried to do that to one of my friends, by the way. But before we continue, we do have that clip of the Mariah shade situation in case y'all didn't see it. So roll the clip.
But I'm thankful. I know that much.
Yeah. You released them in your vault. Tell us about it.
Okay, so
yeah, we got J-Lo behind us. Actually, I want to hear about.
He tried it.
Grande. She said in her new Netflix documentary.
Yeah, he thought he was slick with that. He was like, oh, yeah, that was J-Lo, but then wanted to go and slide into the whole Ariana Grande thing because, at one point, Mariah and Ariana did not like each other. But it was more or less Mariah's situation on her than it was Ariana. Because, whenever somebody comes out that is similar in regards of, like, complexion, hair, voice, the fact that she could do the whistle like Mariah does, Jennifer Hudson can do that shit too, but apparently they only wanted them two to do it on the Christmas special. But so with that, and then people in the industry with the comparisons are trying to, oh, she's the do this, and it's like, I'm not gonna do anything. Mariah's Mariah, Ariana is Ariana. They did the same thing with Kylie Minogue and Madonna. Oh, every time Kylie Minogue would be in an interview for 30 years of her career, oh, Madonna this, Madonna, oh, you trying to be Madonna? And she was always gracious about the comparisons. It was never rude or shitty, and it's kind of like I wish the industry would do the same thing. But
it's not so much the industry; it's also the artists themselves, because at times the industry does the rivalry thing just to bring that media attention. But Mariah plays a big part in it, because if you look down the list of divas, Mariah is one of the only divas that's publicly known for always having issues with all these girls. Remember when Aguilera came out? Whitney Houston complimented her, but Mariah dissed her completely. And there's a few videos of Christina always saying that Aguilera badmouths her. And Mariah's always like, oh, she's a drunk and she's this and she's a hot mess and don't compare her to me. And it's just like, and it's crazy because all these girls compare themselves to Mariah and be like, oh, I want to mimic her or rise.
Well, they looked up to her.
Someone like her. The only, I think, pop star in history she loves is Britney, but that's because Britney's not a vocalist, so she just does her own totally different thing. No, it's true.
That's why I'm laughing, because of the truth.
When she was like,
anybody who can't compete, anyone who doesn't compete with her on a vocal level, Mariah likes you.
Yes, 1,000%.
If you got a 5-octave vocal range, you're a competition.
Mm-hmm.
When child, there's room for all of y'all up in here.
Well, there is, but she wants to be. There's only one Mariah. That's what she says. But
I mean, there is, but you shouldn't be jealous of other people because, they're out here and they're singing and they could do things that you can't, which is Mariah can't dance. She even admits that in the book, that there was some insecurities around her being a dancer and stuff since she was a kid. And when she was on stage and being made fun of because of her Black father, and it's a whole thing. Because I did listen to Marina and Mariah. But yeah, let's move on, because I did I saw all that and stuff. But let's move on to Drag Race. So Drag Race season 13 premiered last night, and might I say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a while since I can say I actually enjoyed an episode of Drag Race, because these past couple of seasons, y'all were tired, through, delayed, late, throw that whole show away. But I do love the whole idea of like Rue changed the I forget what it's called, but it's like, remember how he used to say, gentlemen, start your engines and may the best woman win? Yeah. So now he says, racers, start your engines and may the best drag queen win, which in my opinion, I'll get your opinion on in a second on what you think about the new phrase, but I actually like it because it's more inclusive. I also have a couple of favorites, like, I love me some Tina Burner.
Yes.
I love that she's on this show, and she is, a dinosaur within the drag world, but we live for her, and she's been a
Yes.
friend. Like, I've known Tina for a long time, so it's good to see her on here. Candy Muse is a little messy, a little shady. I'm living for her too. I know a lot of the fans so far were sitting up in here saying, I mean, not fans, but the Drag Race fans. Oh, I don't like her. And I already knew she was going to get that because she's loud, she's brass. She's a former member of the House of Aja. Speaking of which, do you know a certain Drag Race queen hit me up on Grindr not too long ago and sent me photos? I need to send you those.
Well, I heard some Candy Muse from personal people. But I mean, the art of Candy Muse. Yeah, I mean, like her being the rah rah loud. I think it's funny. It's good. It's good for TV. I've seen her performance live.
Are we going to play the RuPaul meme? Meh.
Man,
That you're more or less.
Maybe I caught her on the days that she worked her 6th night, and she was just a little terrored.
Yes, I love this look. I love this look from Miss Candy. She did get on stage and perform that on stage. I like this whole. I mean, there's for those of you, if you didn't see last night's episode, you might want to mute. But I like the idea of, like, as soon as they walked in, it was like 2 girls at a time, right? And so then, of course, it goes, "Ooh, girl, she already done had hers." So then the girls are gagging, like, "Wait a minute, it's only 2 of us in here. So why is it like we're this is going on now? Like, why isn't there like 13 girls in the room or whatever? How many?"
Yeah.
And so then Ru calls them to the stage. They got the big stage. First of all, I also noticed, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but the whole set got a new makeover. Like, everything, yes. Even where they got the couches where they do untuck, that whole room is just. They put some coin in this season. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And then so he calls them to the stage. One of the girls becomes a winner, and then the other girl gets the pork chop, which, of course, everybody knows. Pork chop is the first girl ever to be eliminated in the history of Drag Race. In season 1. So then they have like 6 or 7 girls that were given the pork chop. And now what the twist is in the last episode is that those who were eliminated, they're pulling a RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars twist, which is the girls have to vote one of the girls to sashay away. So next week we find out which one of the girls pulled a survivor and basically chop one of the girls. And word on the street is the first one to go home is a Kamora. Oh my God, I forgot her damn last name. See, that's probably why she go home first. Nobody remembers her. But was it Kamora Hall? I think it's Jada Essence's drag sister. So she is the first one to go home. But I did hear also, I don't know if you know who the girls are, the celebrity choices. Well, they're having celebrity guests on the show, which I didn't think they were going to do because of COVID. Yeah. But apparently, the girls that are going to be on this season is, oh my God, where is it? Because now I got to look for it. So Cynthia Erivo, Lonnie Love, T.S. Madison. We saw in next week's preview that Jamal Sims comes in to do like some choreography and judge that horrible ass RuPaul song, Congratulations. I cannot stand that song. But if y'all can make that shit work for a performance, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Nicole Byers also performing, as well as they said Anne Hathaway and Scarlett Johansson are going to be as judges. And Heidi N Closet, Nina West, and Valentina are going to make guest appearances, which I think is good too. Because one of the things I've said also that they need to do is they need to add some of the Drag Race girls.
Yes, I agree.
To be on the show as judges, because even like you could bring a Nicki Minaj or a Lady Gaga or Madonna or Britney or whoever on, but I feel like when people watch Drag Race, they want familiarity and they like people who they can relate to and who they've grown and familiarized themselves with. So I don't know why Ru doesn't kind of bring on these Drag Race girls to sort of sit down and be a judge, and so that we can see that.
Ru is a little bit like Tyra. Like, I gave you your shine, and that's as far as we go. You gotta work your rest out. You gotta do it all by yourself. You know what I mean? And then once in a while, she'll throw a little something like, okay, let me help you out a little bit to help.
Let me throw you a little crumb. Oh, did you hear that apparently the gays are canceling Shangela?
Why?
I found that out this morning. I'm like, wait, what is going on? Because I saw one of my friends about, oh, so now that we've canceled Chandler, it was going in. So apparently, there's been a little something going around where the gays have been partying up in Puerto Vallarta.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, they were canceling some of those parties and all this other stuff. But then there were certain promoters that were doing secret events and trying to get around the police and all these other people so they could have their little parties and make their money. Yeah. So like trying to throw together some last minute shit. So apparently Shangela was one of the girls that was at this event. And so the kids are dragging her on social media. And my thing is this, we're still in a pandemic. I would love to be going out to go to a party. I would love to go on a vacation. I would love to be out hanging out with friends and going to parties and not wearing a shirt and being a whore. I would love to be doing all these things, but we're in a situation where you could possibly get sick and die. And I've already lost, a lot of friends in nightlife and who are gay and all this other stuff who have gotten COVID, not from not following the rules, but from doing basically what they need to be doing, which is, they just got sick. And this is like in the early stages of COVID. So I've lost friends. So it's like, I see how that is. I'm not willing to risk my health and my life for this. So yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, but the girls be flippy. That's the issue. The girls be flipping back and forth. I think it's more like the season because a few months ago, when we opened up everything on Fire Island, everyone and their moms was there. Didn't seem to care. Everybody was in Miami.
What is going on in here on this day?
What is going on here?
I love me some Melissa. But yeah, I wanted to go to Fire Island too. I'm hoping that I'll be able to go this summer, but I didn't go.
You see, now, look, you just finished saying you're hoping you can go off this summer. That's my thing is, but if we need to be cautious and we need to be very careful with COVID, then, we shouldn't be going to these places. But yet we are. I feel like now that it's winter, now that a lot of places are not so much vacation spot, now in places like where Shangela's at, people are being salty because they're home and they're saying, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. But these are the same queens that's posing in just undies at a pool party with 900 other people with no masks on. So you can't win. And I don't think Shangela's going to be canceled. I think people just want that to happen. She's like a drag fave. Like she's a doll. You know what I mean? Like Shanji's everything to a lot of people. She's very talented. People like her. But
I don't know if there's anybody that's in the comments that have watched.
I would word cancel. We need to stop cancel because we cancel everything and nothing's fully ever canceled.
People and you can't really cancel a person.
They come back left and right.
You can't cancel a person. You can cancel a show, you can cancel a movie, you can cancel an event, but you can't cancel people because people are people. But I mean, you can cuss them out and hold them accountable for dumb shit, but
yeah,
it just sounds stupid. But so we got so I know during the commercial break it says that we got a special clip of Shangela talking about dating and COVID. So we'll see what she got to say about that. I don't know if anybody was in the comments that actually saw last night's episode of Drag Race and want to comment on it and who they, who's their favorite so far and who they think is going to go for. I mean, I heard some of the names that's going to be in the top 4. I heard Gottmik makes it all the way to the end. I actually like Gottmik. I love the fact that we have someone who's a trans male that is competing on the show. And I see that's exactly why Rue changed the catchphrase. And what I'm also thinking is like, okay, so with that being said, is it long overdue that we have this whole situation? And I don't know. What do you think Drag Race is as a whole and where it needs to go? Because I don't know. While I am excited that they have decided to evolve, I don't know. I feel like I need more shows on TV that represent drag and not just RuPaul's Drag Race. Like I loved Dragula Resurrection. That was only one episode. And then Remy says he stands Denali.
Well, I got to give her a second chance then and definitely see what she's about. No.
Oh, you don't like Denali?
Right now about the show.
You don't like Denali?
Well, I mean, I don't dislike. Like, besides Tina Burner, and I already know Candy Muse, all the other ones.
I don't particularly care for Rose, and I met her twice.
Feelings off the first episode, I don't have a feeling just yet.
Yeah.
I have a look, like, oh, okay, you're something. I need a few more. But I got to stalk their Instagram. I got to see what they're about. Listen, I don't want to hate on you because I don't want no one to hate on me when I become a Rue star, okay? But what you said earlier about RuPaul, I 100% agree with you. I think it's great that we're changing and we're bringing more trans community into the show. But it's so sad that even for a show like RuPaul's Drag Race, they're moving at such a slow pace. You being the first show, you're breaking barriers. Bringing a show like this to a network for millions of people to watch through a television, as opposed to picking up a DVD and a little LGBTQ RESP aisle in Blockbuster, it says a lot. And we should always be on top of it. And it's crazy how like Dragula and these other shows are coming up and they're streaming way quicker than RuPaul. And it's like I feel like RuPaul is more like, okay, I'll let you experiment on that and we'll go safe. And when it looks good, then we'll add it to our show. And my thing is, for Ru, you're always talking about breaking barriers and being the first of everything and love yourself and, you're naked and the rest is whatever. So my thing is, add that to your show because I promise you it will elevate much more. Keep the standard of challenges, but, be more open to people who are auditioning and, their history and their background, and don't just use whatever you think is going to sell for TV, because then you're not being honest to the gay community as well. And we're going to move backwards, especially when it comes to drag, because when it first came out, the elevation on drag has changed. It wasn't just typical little patches of makeup. You really need to learn the contour, the lace front stuff. Like when the first 3 years it came out, drag really changed. And then it became all about performances and, had to have this specific look. And then, when you first came out, I remember when I first started doing drag 4 years ago, it was more, I had to look like this specific queen. I won't mention who, but I had to look like this specific queen because everyone was looking.
I want to know who.
Like this. Was looking like this. And then the more I started watching different queens and the more I was feeling comfortable with my looks, I found my signature look. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Is like you need to explore all types. You can't say you do it and you're not showing it on TV. So
I do agree that with Drag Race that a lot of the girls who grew up with the show, like drag was so different. Like I remember when I started watching Drag Race, it was always the local queens that we knew that we got to see that were coming up and they performed. I was like, oh yeah, there's just all these different aspects of drag, but I felt like it just became confined in this box when we were watching the show where, you had to look like Sharon Needles, or you had to look like Bianca Del Rio, or you had to look like Adore Delano. And it's like, oh, there's one specific, or Trixie Mattel with the crazy eye makeup, where like you got 3 eyes in your head, or one big ass eye. It's like, you got to be able to find what works for you and make it work. That's why I've always been like, what? Drag Race needs to be a little more diverse in their choices. And if we can bring that picture up again, from the cast that we see, this is a very diverse cast. I like that we have so many different kind of queens that we have on this season, and I think we got a strong group of girls. I mean, I've known of Rose. I don't know Rose, but I've known of Rose because I know of Stephanie's Child. I've seen them perform numerous times. I saw them. I've probably mentioned this 100 million times, but when I was pressed at DragCon back in 2018. They did a performance at Yotel where the queens were staying, because that was the hotel they were staying at. So I got to run into the Elephant Queen, and I ran into Michelle Visage outside smoking, and I ran into all these. Yeah, she smokes, honey. I ran into all these other girls, and then there was this big event that I got to go to, and then of course they performed again at oh my God, where were they? Oh, they performed at the Big Apple Circus. So I've been aware of them for years, and it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out between Tina Burner and Rose, because they are the singers of of the season, and Tina's been around singing for a long time. You know, she was in a boy band. That whole thing didn't work out. You know, she's been, you know, she does comedy. She sings. That you got to be a jack of all trades if you're going to be a New York drag queen. You got to be able to do it all. Got to be able to sing. Got to be able to dance. Got to be able to act. Got to be funny. And it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out as the season goes on. So I'm really looking forward to this season. I'm excited for the next week's episode and episodes on down and how they work this whole show out in the pandemic. But what we are going to do right now is we're going to take a hard break. So we got a little couple of commercials coming up. When we come back, we're going to talk about Tiffany Pollard's transphobic half-ass apology. Yeah, she said something that, child, I clutched my pearls when I saw it. I was like, not my New York. So we're going to talk about, we got some tea about New York. We got the Real Housewives stuff. We're going to talk about Nene Leakes. We're going to talk about Potomac. We're going to talk about Erica Jane and how this season will come out. And then we got stuff on Kylie Minogue and our music picks of 2020 and a whole lot more. So yeah, this is going to be our gayest episode. So don't go nowhere. Keep on, stick around. We'll be right back with On the Line with myself and my very special guest, Miss Lindsay Aguilera.
Yeah.
This is for faggots.
For sure, this pandemic has reminded us the importance of, being able to be close to someone and have that type of relationship. I myself went on one Zoom date.
Oh no.
It was really bad because, it's not the other guy's fault. He was in Chile and I was in Paris, Texas.
How did this come about?
It was a guy that I knew from Instagram. As we meet people in the social world these days, and he wanted to go on a date. Well, obviously we couldn't leave the house. And so I was like, all right, let's have a Zoom date. Poured a bottle of wine, put our glasses together, clink the skull. And sat on the phone for about an hour. Now, I proceeded to probably drink way more than I needed to during this date and divulge way more information. Yeah, but you know what? Those dates don't necessarily lead to anything except hanging up at the end of the night. Sure. Reflecting back on how it was. There was lots of conversation because that's really all there can be.
Yeah.
And I think it's reflective of where we are right now. And that's why I love watching the show.
Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode. Well, same episode of On the Line. And yes, Lindsay's back. Y'all saw our little gay break that we did.
It was
This is
cute.
for faggots.
It gave me time to run real quick and do what I had to do.
Oh, yeah. We like to throw a lot of breaks up in here. But anyway, so our next topic that I want to get to is Miss Tiffany Pollard is under fire for some stuff that she said on a reality show on the Zeus network. I don't even know where the Zeus network is. I don't know where you can find it. I don't know if it's on your phone. I don't know if it's on the internet. I don't know where it is, but apparently there's a couple of shows on there. Black China had a show on there at one point, and I guess she wasn't making no money. So now she ran over to WeTV and is trying to do something with them. You know, the AKA the network that the Braxtons built but don't get no credit for. And they had what is it? So yeah, Black China has a show over there. Then one of the guys
it's more popular for the confrontation show, the sit down, where they get like two TV celebrities who've had drama and they confront each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's an app. It's like Netflix and stuff. You pay like $2 a month or whatever.
I was being messy. I know what the Zeus network is. So.
Well, for those who don't know.
Well, yeah, you know, sometimes, but we are a gaggle of information. So if I'm being intentionally messy, you can tell them what it is. Oh yes, Nadine. She's like she said, it's an app. I just feel like she's yelling at me. It's an app. Oh, she said she got it just to see the messy shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's an app to be messy with. I'm surprised Mona Scott isn't taking advantage of it.
Because Ray J got all over that. Ray J wants to own that by himself.
He does?
Oh yes.
Ray
J's all up.
Yeah, I can see him trying to jump on that. But anyway, she made an appearance on a show called One More Chance, which follows rapper Kamal Chance Gibbons as he looking penub in all the wrong places. So she launched an attack on a contestant by the name of Tiffany Walker and used some very harsh language that, you know, can be perceived as transphobic. So we do have that clip. We don't have the clip of her apology, but I got what she said, so I'm gonna read that. So I want y'all to get an idea of what she said, and then we'll come back. Roll the clip. Oh, excuse me.
Aren't very forthcoming with me. I wasn't. You had any light on the questions that I had, and I feel like you have a situation.
Okay, so we're having a little technical difficulty. So we got to give production a minute, and he's going to try it again because we didn't even get to the good part.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's important to see this clip so that way we can go in and, you know.
Mm-hmm. Let me know when you're ready. You know, part of doing a show on the internet, there's always technical issues.
Yeah. Just to give a little feedback in the meantime, you know, New York is from Flavor of Love. She hit it off really big. She's done a lot of reality TV show. She is known for being someone very in your face, very dramatic. You know, she does things on purpose that makes you think you got to be nuts. You know what I mean?
Which is why we love her. And I think that's also why the gays gravitated towards her. And she's got a lot of her, you know, bookings over the years when nobody was really checking for New York from the gay community. Which it baffles me why she would even say this on a show for a check. And I've heard a lot of the Zeus reality shows are scripted. So, yeah. So, let me know when you're ready. So yeah, when I saw that, it was like some of the people in the comments wrote, so I'm, well, not this comments, but on Twitter, they were like, I'm so incredibly disgusted and heartbroken. I used to love Tiffany Pollard, but after seeing this, you are canceled, unfollowed. Your actions and words are hurtful and unacceptable. You should be ashamed. Fuck you. Well, tell us how you really feel.
I mean, you're attacking. You're doing the same thing this person is doing.
Who?
I mean, when you attack that hard, you're doing this. You're doing the same thing that whoever is in trouble. Like, for example, right now, New York is on the spotlight. You attacking her, saying these vicious things. It's the same thing she was doing. So we're not any better.
Yeah, I mean, I was just reading what was said.
No, I know. I was saying you.
I know. But New York did go on and say that she doesn't have a transphobic bone in her body. She says, you guys are bad at me today, and there's no reason to be. I don't have a transphobic bone in my body. I love and respect everyone in the community. You guys always show up and show out for me, and the love is real. You should know that. I want you to feel that way. Let's just say that clip was seen. The woman in the clip is not transgendered. Still doesn't give you a right to use
100%.
the trans community as an excuse, even if the woman was the woman you were going in on just to get a reaction was assigned female at birth. And she also went on to say, I myself was born a woman and I always get mistaken as a man. Everywhere I go, the grocery store, the airport, I hear whispers, that's a man, that's a guy, I know it. Pollard confusingly said she directed her anti-trans rant at the contestant to test her. But here's the thing, when you do that, when you call someone a man, she says it wasn't really like anything disrespectful. It's just me enduring and actually, going through what I go through on a regular basis. So what that means is you're projecting what people put on you onto another person, which is what I know you were alluding to when you said that earlier.
Very forthcoming with me. I wasn't. You didn't shed any light on the questions that I had. And I feel like you have a situation. And
Looks like we seem to have a glitch in the matrix. So you know what? I have what she said, so I'm just going to read Joe what she said. So she says, you didn't shed any light on the questions that I had, and I feel like you have a situation, and I do believe that you're a man. When Walker replies she knows she's not, Paula continued, does it bother you when I tell you that I feel like you're a man, that you have, and this is how she said it, genital, like she couldn't pronounce genitalia. Like penis and balls and sweaty dick. What does that do to you? Does that fuck with you at all? So you were literally using something that is detrimental to trans women. And in case y'all been living under a rock and not aware, because I know a lot of people really aren't aware that goes on in the community, there were over 40 trans women killed last year that we know of on record. The police like to misgender people and that sort of thing, but there was over 40 trans, and majority of them were of Black and Latin descent. So these aren't white trans women getting killed. There may have been a couple of them up in there, but when I've been going on the blogs and I've been seeing those who have been murdered, like Now Next posted and a lot of other blogs, they posted. These are mostly Black and Spanish women who have been murdered that are trans. And a lot of them, like 35 is the expiration date on when a lot of trans women are killed. So for you to say this for entertainment, and I don't care how big the damn check is, because all money ain't good money. To use that as a way to get under a woman, you could have said so much other stuff to get under a girl's skin, but to use that, it's just wrong. And especially when you are admired by the LGBTQ community. So to use that, and then that stupid ass non-apology, it's not looking good for you. Like, I don't think you can cancel someone, but the nightclubs, when they start opening up again, they're going to kind of look at you funny, like, oh, we're not booking that bitch. So I don't know. What say you on that?
No. I 100% agree with you on this. I think when I was doing my research on this, when you told me this is what we're going to talk about, I saw two different videos of it. I saw the non-apology apology video as well. I was very disgusted. I was upset. I was bothered because I don't personally know her, but she is somebody who I also liked very much. She was a character from this TV show that I favored very much, and her shenanigans was always acceptable. But and she got under people's skin. You know, she was the villain of Flavor of Love. She was the villain in Big Brother UK. I think she was like the top 2 contender. She almost won, and she did it really well. Now, the way she did it this way was she's known for getting under people's skin and finding a flaw in them to hurt their feelings. But this is just deep. This is not surface pain. This is, you're messing with someone's mentality. You know what I mean? And we cannot forget that we all either have body issues, we have issues with how we look or how we feel. And we have to respect that if someone wakes up and feels like, hey, I am this way, this is who I am, we have to support that. You messing with someone's psyche, bringing up, oh, you were a man, you didn't tell people, you didn't tell me that, you can really mess up with their psychological sense. From what I understand, especially when you transition the correct way, you have to see a psychologist. You have to be certain that this is what you want to do. You're changing yourself to who you mentally think you're supposed to be and look like. So it's very disrespectful. It's just, there's no excuses for it. There's nothing else to say, but shame on you for that. There is no coming back from that. I feel like, you know, in time, can the public forgive you? Maybe for some, but that's always gonna fall on you now. And that apology was even more disgusted. And for her to put, she flipped it around and made it about herself and was like, you know, I get called a man all the time. That doesn't make it okay. You're okay with that because at the end of the day, you are secure that you are a woman. That's like myself, me being a man. I don't want to transition, but I love the art of drag. I love doing this and I love presenting this character. But if I was to turn around and someone was to tell me, hey, you're a man, I'm okay with it because under this, I am a man. You know what I mean? So I was just really disgusted. Like I'm like, this subject is so terrible. It's terrible that she's one of those people to fall under that. Because now we get to see who you really are, whether you really mean this apology or not, even though you didn't give an apology.
Exactly. And we've had too many. All right, go ahead.
Oh, I'm saying I'm sure she's going to try to do a tour, and you know, people are going to interview her for this. And
yeah, people are gonna, yeah. And I think her feet need to be held to the fire for that, for not giving a real apology on what she said. Like then I would feel like, oh, it's, then I would
fingers, her scalp,
her entire body parts.
Yeah.
She about to become barbecue. But to me, I feel like this is a prime example of a lot of times we have these so-called allies in our community. Excuse me, that White Claw be giving me gas. But anyway, so it's like we have allies within our community and stuff who say that they love the gays. Oh, yes, and this and that. But I think they like the fashiony parts of the gay. Oh, they're funny or they're sassy. They like to dress like all the stereotypes. They like all that. But then it's like when it boils down to the root of it all, it's like, oh, we step out of pocket. Y'all want to use that F word. You want to call us all kind of names, and then all of a sudden we see your true colors shining through. As we heard that horrible ass Cyndi Lauper vocal that Billy Porter was giving her the side eye during the commercial break, but that's not what we're going to talk about. But to me, it just feels like we've seen it time and time and time again. Remember when Kaya was with T.S. Madison, and they were doing a show and everything was great. And then all of a sudden, T.S. was doing things where she was trying to, you know, she was working with Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj was trying to get the Queen's Court to be on national television, and all these changes was happening. And then we started hearing, you know, Kaya started showing her true damn colors through them fucked up teeth she got, you know, the missing wooden teeth she got on her mouth. She started going in and throwing shade and coming for Maddie and calling all kinds of Maddie man whore and all these other things.
Yeah.
So it's funny how like when women are put in a position, y'all want to show your true colors. We've seen this often, too damn often. And to me, I'm tired of it. So now I feel like a lot of you women, when y'all want to come up in our circle, you got to prove yourself. You got to go. We giving y'all a whole litmus test of shit before I be like, okay, this bitch is an ally. Because I'm not giving free passes and shit no more. There's been too many women that come out here trying to benefit off of our community and make us so much money. And then they come out and they say certain things and you don't apologize. And, you know, it's a whole thing. And then we got to cuss their ass out. I don't cancel people. I just cuss bitches out.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
I don't hit women. I'll get my sister to do it. But anyway,
I'll just put on a wig. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, it's just sort of like like you said, you love the art of drag, but at the end of the day, you know who you are as a man because you're secure. Same thing with her. It's like, you know, at the end of the day, you're a cis woman, that you were assigned female at birth. So somebody said, oh, well, she's a man. And she would say, like, yeah, I could take your man on. So, like, you can live with that at the end of the day. But there are girls out here who are just trying to transition and be themselves and live their life. And a lot of these men who go out here and say, well, we know you're an ally, Nadine. We're not talking about you. And we know we love you and we love Logan. Like, we've known you for a long time. So yes. But for the most part, it's just like a lot of, child, I forgot what I was going to say. But nevertheless, it's just, my thing is, we love our allies. We like the people who come and support us and stuff, but we have to think, like, there's a lot of trans people out here. I have a lot of trans friends. They're just trying to live their truth and be who they are and transition without any problems. And you got people out here who are being negative, men who fetishize these women and don't like their, you know, the fact of that these attractions are happening, so they want to do it behind closed doors, and then they murder these girls. And I'm like, well, she tricked me. She's like, child, you knew who you was fucking. 100%. So I don't know these men that come out here and sit and talk about they didn't know that the girl they were hooking up with was trans. And y'all need to also stop thinking immediately with genitalia, because like what you said before, it starts up here. So I could be a woman in my head, but don't have the wherewithal and the finances to get all the surgeries and stuff. If I say that I'm considering transitioning and I'm trans, I'm a trans woman, take me at that. People like to equate it with the visual and getting the full transition. And unless you have a pussy, then you're a woman. And it's like, no, there are people who can't afford the surgeries. There are people who are still going through the whole thing of, you have to go through a 2-year period of the therapy and taking the hormones or these other things before you transition. Then there's girls who transition but don't want to go all the way. So there's so many levels to it. And people need to understand that unless I tell you that I'm something, transgender, non-binary, he, they pronouns, they, them pronouns, whatever you want to call it, then take me at that and just respect it.
Yes. I also want to add something real quick that yes. I'm a strong believer. Listen, I have, when it comes especially to people with either money or celebrities or brands or companies, they can say I'm an ally. Or, for example, someone like New York, the gay culture, we have to be very careful with who we idolize or call divas or pay money to go see them, because we are giving her money to come into the gay clubs. But let's be honest, let's be realistic. When has she walked? When have we seen her on Pride on her own? Not on a float because she's getting paid by a network, but when has she done any charity work? When has she visited shelter homes where foster gay children needs help at? Where has she donated? None of this is there. And this goes back to, remember a long time ago, I don't want to go on too long with this because we have more things to talk about. But, you know, when we talk about celebrities like the Beyoncés, you know what I mean? We cater to these people and we idolize them because they're fierce or their brand is awesome or their music is great. But have we seen anything that they have done to help our community? No. Just because we add 1 or 2 queens in the background of a music video, or like Erica Jane, it's a perfect example, a team of gays, but where are the donations? Where are you speaking out on? If I go to their Instagram account, where are you speaking for us? You don't.
Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right with that.
That is a big issue, and we fall on that. So at part 2, I'm upset with New York because I don't support her like that. I just like the character who she is. But at fault 2 is we're giving these people money and we're getting upset. We need to really, really be very cautious and understand who we're giving these coins with and who we're calling these queens and divas and fabulousness, because they're taking our stuff in our culture. And yet, look, she's playing us out and she's disrespecting us. Like, it's okay. We need to start being more smart on who we support and hold them accountable. I feel like if she is sincere and if she really is, you know, apologetic for this, then you need to do something. You need to do a charity event. You need to support some of these trans women. You need to help these young kids who are going through issues. You need to do something.
Wait. Bad Bunny would never what?
Disrespect the trans community. And you know that very well.
Well, yes, I was about to say that because I did. The funny thing is, I talked about that. Like when I chose one of my, like his album is actually on one of my best uplift. He's actually number 2. Number 1 is Dua Lipa. But number 2 is the I'm not even going to say the Spanish pronunciation because
Yo hago lo que se me da la gana.
Oh my God, how'd you know that was the album? That's exactly the album that I chose. He came out with 3 this year.
He did, but that is the main one. The other 2 are like the tracks that didn't make it to that album.
I don't like the last one though. I know he was like experimenting with rock and all this stuff.
Love it. I'm here for
it. Yeah, that. But she put all the little initials. But I just love how David just said it. But shout out to Raquel for that. But yeah. So that is like one of my favorite. And I did mention that because with the video where he was in drag, and I love me some Bad Bunny. I know you and I both love Bad Bunny, but I said that like he is an ally for our community, and he's even said like he could possibly see himself with a man down the road. He doesn't know, and it's nice to see someone from the Latin hip hop community speak on that because you never hear Wisin and Yandel, you never hear an Ozuna, even though you know that story about Ozuna and being in gay porn before he was famous.
Fun fact.
He was technically masturbating, but he was in the gay porn nevertheless.
Fun fact, it's so funny. I was talking about this earlier with my sister. Again, not to get too deep, but since we brought this up, that is a reason why we go wherever
the conversation takes us on this show. But go ahead.
Why a lot of interviewers have asked Bad Bunny why he hasn't done any music with Ozuna. And he just says if it happens, it happens. But he steers very much away from him. And it's because, him doing what he did and trying to deny like that wasn't him in the video performing. And
I remember I reported on it.
And don't forget, 2 years ago, and it's still going, he's a suspect for the death of one of the trans in Puerto Rico. Apparently associated with, and it looked bad. So, Bad Bunny, another reason why I support him even more is he stays true to what he believes in. And he's like, listen, I'm not going to work with somebody for clout because Ozuna is a very favorited artist. He does great music, but Bad Bunny's like, I'm gonna work my lane. I'm not gonna work with you because it goes against with everything I believe in. He is somebody who we should be really like being more invested. I mean, yes, he's a great artist and stuff, but we should support him because he is giving back to our community. But New York is not.
And I'm sure if he was invited to like, if Esquilita was still around and we had, that Latin gay club, I'm sure they would be like, let's get Bad Bunny up in here and perform. Sure. And the gays would be living for it and my ass would be front row.
Splash. Terry, Kylie, Britney.
Oh my God, I miss Splash.
Definitely would have
Those
done
were the days.
Splash is for those of you not from New York, who will see us later, was a very famous gay club.
And damn sure was. Everybody from like Christine W., who apparently is a Trump supporter. We ain't gonna talk about that. Everybody from, and she is someone who has been iconic within the gay community. Like her music was even in Queer as Folk. Like that's how, she's like one of the big gay dance divas. Everyone from Deborah Cox to freaking Britney to Janet Jackson have graced Splash and performed there. And this was like back in the day, like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s and beyond. So yeah, I miss Splash. We don't have places like that anymore in New York.
We don't.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at when it comes to New York. It's like we have to be very careful with who we support. We can like people, of course, like them. You can like characters. You can like people's, careers and whether movies or music. But we have to be careful how we idolize these people because, I mean, if you're not going to support me and respect my beliefs, then
I agree. What we need to do is, I'm all for the allies, but we need to balance it out. Like if you go on tribe.com, I give you all a list of like my best album choices of 2020. I was about to say 2016, bitch. We're in 2021. 2020.
What happened in 2016? It came into your mind.
I don't even know. I don't remember. But it's all a blur. But I have a mixture of the Dua Lipas, but also out artists like Cakes the Killer and Zebra Cats and so many other, and Saucy Santana and a lot of other artists. We need to support people who are within our community that's making music as well, and not be so quick to just gravitate towards the allies or people who make music and only want to come out and be like, oh yeah, this album's for the gays.
Yeah.
When they release music, but don't, like you said, don't support on their off time. Like don't. So we're gonna get into like music and all this stuff later on, but let's get through this thing real quick because I know we need to move along. because we won't be doing a 3-hour show like I did the other day. So the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So we were talking about Erica Jane earlier, and she says she's still in disbelief over Tom Girardi's split and the lawsuits. So she says she's still in disbelief that Tom would cheat. Girl, please. She also said that she's in disbelief with all these lawsuits that are coming that no one was aware of. Okay, this is what an insider tells us magazine. It says the legal issues are unfolding one after another, and she's learning as everyone's filing. As the whole world is finding out about it, she's finding out about it. She's reading about it in the press before she even sees it from her lawyers. Now, Erica, who is 49, filed for divorce from Tom, who's 81, last month after more than 20 years of marriage. The Bravo star later accused her of having an affair with a California judge. She did put that on blast on social media. Let's not forget she was also trying to sell her clothes on Instagram, where they dragged her for that. She said, "This is Justice Trisha A. Bigelow. She was fucking my husband." Okay, so now you what's her name? Vanessa Williams from Soul Food. Hey, fuck my husband. She was like, she was fucking my husband, Tom Girardi, and he was paying her Saks bill and paying for her plastic surgery, like he paid for yours. Erica wrote alongside a series of alleged text messages between her estranged husband and Bigelow. And it says, while the Pretty Mess author deleted the post after approximately 30 minutes on December 18th. You know, we capture shit. So you can leave it up for even 3 seconds and we catch it. The judge's attorney released a statement to the LA Times on December 22nd saying Erica's actions in maliciously doxing the justice were nothing short of criminal. So it goes on and on and on and on and on. And they're also saying that their assets were frozen, that there's some offshore accounts and everything that's going on. And they're also saying that Erica was completely unaware of the very serious allegations that were being made against Tom in court. So now, do you believe any of this, or are you calling bullshit on this whole situation?
I believe that she's probably is finding out the information as it's going, because this is happening in real time and because everything's being checked through a magnifying glass right now. I do agree with that. I do agree that she's panicky and she's embarrassed and worried, as anybody would. I mean, just to go to jury duty, I have an anxiety attack. So I do believe that. Now, here's my thing is, all this, you already knew. You and your husband were trying to be very slick. You just got caught. Because if this is how you're feeling now, you should have been more cautious. And there's no way, it really bothers me when someone says, I had no idea this was going on. Now, you can say this with someone who you're not close with. If your neighbor or coworker, do something that you're so surprised that they did, I can understand, like, oh, I would never see that. You know what I mean? This coworker comes in every day, they say good morning, and they're so nice, and they say extra. I can't see them fighting anybody. You know what I mean? But
she's completely unaware of what's going on in her own home with her husband.
Years and years. You can't say that and then tell me that your husband of 20 plus years was doing all this and you had no idea. Erica Jane, where do you think this money is coming from? Because checking at your budget and what you make on your own, this is coming from the small clubs like the Ritz, Industry, Splash, XL. You're not performing at MSG sold out shows. So this money that you're building to look like this glamazon is coming from your husband.
Yeah, clearly he had to be funding her career. Like, it's obvious, because I've been listening and following Erica Jane's music long before she was on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, I remember when Logo first started and they had their New Now Next music videos and stuff. And I remember that was the first time I saw Erica Jane, and she did the Pretty Mess video and she did One Hot Pleasure, and we saw those videos. And it's like, okay, I didn't know, but I had no idea that, who she was married to and the whole background and all that until we started watching the show. And then we got an idea of who she was. And it's like, okay, so now I see how she got this whole pop career funded. So he was probably over there being like, you know what, I'm going to let you do the reality show, and I'm going to give you the money for the pop career, and you're going to leave me alone, and I'm going to be robbing Peter to pay Paul and keep this whole fantasy afloat, because that is that I feel like that's also been a problem with a lot of these Real Housewives shows. When we watch these shows, we watch it for the fantasy. It's supposed to be like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, where we're getting to look inside the glitz and the glamour. It's kind of like why I look at the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and this season is like, this shit is boring. I don't care about Portia fighting for Black Lives Matter. That is not, as don't get mad at me. Don't make the news. I report it. But when we watch these shows, we're not here to try to see you be serious. We want to see popping fans open, Gone with the Wind, Fabulous, doing other stuff. We don't want to see you doing charity work, like that corny shit every season that Kyle does on the Real. Oh, we're doing this for charity, our stupid barbecues and stuff. Like, girl, we don't care.
Listen, the charity is good and it brings the noise out there. But I agree with you when it comes to don't make that the main storyline because you're trying to hide all this other stuff. Here's my thing. If you want to be famous and you're joining a reality TV show and you have cameras in your house, then they have to show everything. You can't edit anything out unless you're the Kardashians because they're the queen of everything. They can edit and show you what they want to show you. But other than that,
the funny thing with the Kardashians thing, the news has already been out for 3 months before it even hits the TV show. By that time, we already got the true tea, and we see that they pretty much are telling it one-sided, and we can see through the bullshit by that time, which is probably why they left E, and now they're doing stuff with Hulu.
Well, regardless, they're the only ones who can do that. But when you work under someone else, that's like a job. If we go to work, even if we have free play to do certain things, we still have to abide by the policies and our bosses. And that's what these reality stars are doing, and they're always quick to throw the next person under the bus because they want to make that the storyline so the story is off of them. And it's sad that this happened to Erica Jane because the second she joined the show and she was in the first 6 minutes, I was in love with her. The way she carried herself, she was very in your face and I had nothing to hide. It wasn't till like 2-3 seasons in, she started drinking the Kool-Aid, the Real Housewife Kool-Aid, and thought she was that girl. And again, us, the gays, were like praising, like, "Oh, yes, queen, this is for you, queen." And
I believe what she's doing now, like she keep drinking that Kool-Aid, she gonna end up on the side of the turnpike with Nene, filing for unemployment.
100%. And Karma's a B, all of them. The way y'all treated Denise Richards, look what's happening now. It's just a matter of time. Next season, the following, Lisa Rinna's next.
I'd say Dorit would be before Lisa Rinna.
You said what?
Dorit would be before Lisa Rinna.
Well, Dorit already got dragged through the mud as well. She already had.
Because she's still in denial about her financial situations with her and PK, which is what I don't understand also about when I watch these Beverly Hills shows. There's so much stuff that was going on behind the scenes with them that we heard about in the news and the blogs and stuff. Yeah. Why was none of that addressed on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? It's almost like y'all can refuse to talk about certain things. And we played a clip of that last week where we were showing the difference between Andy asking Candy about who on the staff got breast implants in the cast and was trying to get Candy to be messy. I love Lisa Rinna though, because Lisa Rinna knows how to make good TV. That's the only reason why I like her. Like she's like, fuck our friendship. Fuck our friendship. I know what we need to do to bring in the ratings, and 100%. She brings it. But she was asking Candy about the whole boob thing, but then with there was I forget what season it was, but there was a season of the Real Housewives of New York where he asked Ramona about something with one of her. I don't want to talk about it, Andy. Go to the next package. Next package.
Talking about her divorce, and she didn't want no one to know.
Yeah, so you don't want to talk. You get to dictate what you don't want to talk about, but he didn't reciprocate that same energy when you was trying to drag Monique through the mud on Potomac. So it's funny how you treat certain people different. He let the white women get away with so much shit on that damn show. Why is Ramona still there? Like Ramona has been doing all kinds of shenanigans on that show, and you let her get away with it because of how she is. Oh, I guess he got the clip. Hopefully it plays. Oh, that was sorry.
I was popping over it. I was too.
Yes, Portia with that crown.
I love me some Portia.
This Black Lives Matter season ain't working though. That was the one they was talking about. I think that was it. The one they was talking about with the boobs thing. But yeah, it just seems like to me it was. But look. It's kind of like the same way when I said in the beginning, when you do these shows, especially with Nene Leakes and that whole situation, if you're going to do this show, you have to play the game. America Child says, hi, Lindsay, love the dude.
Hi, Mom.
And that's your mother? Oh, hi. I'll try not to cuss on television. But, yeah, so Nene was, I feel like with her, and I'll get your opinion because we talked about this so many times, but it was like, I feel like she was over it with the show. She just didn't know how to bow out gracefully because I feel like Nene lost her shot. She lost the opportunity, which was, you should have capitalized. I know in the beginning she wanted to be an actress, but Hollywood wasn't checking for her. So she found her in through reality TV. The only problem with reality TV is reality TV likes to keep you in a box. Once you do reality TV, Hollywood don't take you seriously. Oh, that's a reality star. Why are they in here? Like the casting directors, a lot of them are shady in that way. Was they don't want a reality star trying to come in and competing with the Meryl Streeps and the Taraji P. Hensons and that sort of thing. But it's like, but I got talent too. Just let me read for the role and let me see what I can bring to the table. If I don't do well, then you can just pass me over. But so Real Housewives of Atlanta brought her into the situation. And I know she tried to compare herself to what happened with Married to Medicine and all that other stuff, but your situation is completely different. She was like, I created the Housewives. No, you didn't. First of all, the Real Housewives existed before you came on. There was a Real Housewives of Orange County. So for you to sit there and say that you invented the Housewives, that's disrespectful to Vicky Gunvalson and the other girls that was on that, because Vicky is the OG of the Housewives.
Yes.
You are the OG of Atlanta, and if you're not going to bring what they expect on that type of franchise, Andy and the rest of them don't want to fuck with you, and she didn't want to do that anymore. First of all, being a mess where you pushing 60 and you're in you've been doing 12, 13 seasons, it gets a little stale. And if you look at this season of the Housewives, they all are long in it too. They all need to go.
Whoa. Well, listen.
Who do you think should stay with? Who should still stay on Atlanta?
Say who should still stay? Portia. Portia. Portia.
You only said her name.
Portia.
She's the only one.
Yes. The new girls. I mean, I haven't seen the new season yet. You're
not missing anything.
Clips and stuff. I know, and that's another reason why from what everyone is hearing, it's that. But I've also said to myself, I don't know if I really want to watch it because I've seen other seasons without Nene, and I didn't like it too much. So maybe it's because I like Nene Leakes. Now, the problem with Nene Leakes is, I think maybe it was poor choice of words. She can get, she can get very arrogant. But don't get it wrong, like, the views were there. Atlanta is at times the #1 most viewed show. They do bring in the ratings, and her shenanigans, her memes, and her words, and a boop boop and a ding ding, and how she confronts people. It's brought us to the show, and I mean that's one of the main reasons why I love Atlanta, because Kenya's her. Okay, Candy to me has always been boring. Oops, sorry. I like her, but she's boring.
Well, Nadine loves Candy being messy, but Candy ain't bringing nothing this season. First of all, her daughter went to college. The marriage is great with her and Todd. She got the babies. She's opening up restaurants. No storyline there.
No storyline there. Forget. You know what?
Kenya don't have a storyline either. Like, she's still with that homosexual that she married to.
Yeah, but talk about Candy real quick. She's those messy, like she's shady messy. She's one of those people who like, oh, we're friends, but she would dog you out with someone else in the confessionals, but she doesn't confront you about it unless she's getting backed up, and she always cries when she's about to serve it to you. At least with Nene, whether it's behind the scenes or to your face, she's very straightforward. She'll say it. And
she wasn't last season though. And one of the things she likes to do is she likes to scream. She has two different moods. She likes to scream over you until you can't get a word out, because she thinks yelling makes her right, which I can't stand that shit. That makes me want to slap the shit out of you when you do that. Or give what's that twisted tea can? That's the new ongoing tea that from that. If you saw that video, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, I would just want to take a twisted tea can and throw it at her ass. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Because I'm trying to get my point. Like, you either gonna listen to me or we're not gonna have this conversation. So you yelling over me is not gonna get the point out. Or she walks out of the room. I can't stand that. Like, if we're going to sit and do the one thing with reality shows, it's about people said this, so and so said this about you, confrontation, hash it out, move on. that and then relive it during the reunion. So you get to say your piece, the other one say their piece, and we kumbaya, we move on. The problem with her is she didn't want to do that in the reunion. Oh, everybody's ganging up against me. But girl, you know, every season there's always that one girl that is the big story, like Denise Richards on the last season of Beverly Hills, where everybody dogged on her for no damn reason.
Yes.
But you're there to defend yourself. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to deal with it.
Well, don't forget, you said something that I was about to say. So we're syncing up real quick. When you said, "Oh, everyone's ganging up on me," here, you could be the worst person ever, and you can have an issue with every person. But you just said that, especially in the reunion, you're supposed to sit down and have it out with another person and exchange words. But my thing is, when you have 2, 3, 4 people at once coming at you, it's not okay. It makes you want to get off and leave. Listen, you and I, we can read somebody for filth, and we've done it at many times together in gatherings, and it's funny. I do it with all of my friends, whether it's Remy, Edwin, or my sister. But here's my thing is, we do that and we can take the hit and we can joke back. But imagine imagine 5 Lindsays talking to you at once, trying to read you and trying to do all this. You're going to get frustrated, and you would get frustrated. That's anybody. And I think that's the issue with Nene Leakes. Yeah, she's loud and she's big and bad, but she has to do that because she's going to get attacked. So she needs to get her point across as quickly as she can, because she's going to lose. No matter how tough you are, when a whole group of people are attacking you, and that's what they like to do a lot. Especially, I've noticed very much with the Beverly Hills and Atlanta, they love to team up together and attack that one person. Now, whether we like the person or not, I always feel bad for them when everyone is attacking. You put in your 2 cents, one at a time. If the entire cast is feeling salty with you, let them say their piece and you confront them. But
that's where I would hope. That's where I would hope that the so-called host would be neutral and jump in when he needs to. But apparently, you know, that faggot, I mean, sorry, because we're on YouTube, that queen, Tide Mess, likes to pick sides because he has his little favorites.
No, I get it. And that's not okay.
And I feel like if you're going to be that way, then you need to just move to the side and let someone else come in with fresh eyes who can host these reunions. Like, let's have Monique do it. But I have a little Housewives info, courtesy of the Bureau. Real Housewives of Potomac reunion beat Real Housewives of Atlanta's last episode, the 3rd one, in ratings. So they had 1.282 million, and Real Housewives of Atlanta had 1.211 million. So that's not by a lot, but nevertheless, they beat them in the ratings.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Now, jumping on Potomac real quick, same thing with Monique. I mean, listen, I love Monique. I don't watch the show religiously, and this was the only season I don't either involved with because of those shenanigans. But you catered to Kansas, and every single one, besides Karen and Ashley, was attacking Monique, including Andy. Andy was asking her some really, really, questions, talking to her like she was trash. How do you expect her to react? I think that was so.
And basically questioning her financial status.
Yes, I don't think he liked.
Which you didn't do that. You didn't do that to Dorit.
No,
you didn't do that to Miss Erica Jane. You didn't do that to none of the Beverly Hills girls, and a lot of them were in the news. And Lisa Rinna brought that shit up, and they were like, "Nah, you better not." Because Lisa will bring some shit up where it needs to, but you didn't address it at the Beverly Hills reunion. You would never come for those girls to say, well, you came for the Potomac girls or the Atlanta girls. So that's why I feel like the bias is with him. And and another thing we need to do is, because like you were saying with who we invite in with the previous segment, we were talking about with the gays and the straight allies, we as people need to stop inviting outsiders into our situation in regards of the lingo and certain things, particularly when it comes to people of color and it comes to gay people. And yes, Andy Cohen is a gay man, but he's a white gay man. There's a difference. There's a way that we people of color talk versus the way he talks. And a lot of them think, oh, I'm channeling my inner black woman. Bitch, I want to slap the soul out of your body when you say that. But that's a whole nother conversation. What we're going to do right now is we're going to put this to bed. We'll keep you guys addressed of the whole Housewives thing. We'll take another break. We come out, we're going to talk about Kylie Minogue. Apparently, she's coming out with there's a word on the street is she is re-releasing Disco. And we got some celebrity, some people who's going to apparently be on the album. So I want to get your thoughts on that. Plus, we got our picks of our best albums of 2020. So we're going to take another break. We'll be right back with more of On the Lawn.
Stay with us.
Got a lot of people watching.
See me and see us together and hope is what you came for. A drop inside we.
Acting like those with all this bitch and all this
Hey everybody, welcome back to this messy ass episode of On the Line. I'm here, Mr. Kris Avalon, along with my very special guest, the one and only Lindsay Aguilera. Child, this show. Oh, wait a minute. What is going on? I'm muted. Oh, I'm not muted. What's happening? Oh, he's there. She's there. She's there. We're back. Oh my God! Did you saw that clip of Cyndi Lauper? What was that?
I did. I didn't know about that performance until
me either. I missed the New Year's thing, and I heard that they started taking. I heard they started taking the videos down off of the internet. I don't know why, but
what happened?
Someone who came up around the same time as Madonna, and they were talking about, oh, she's gonna be the next big pop star, and she's gonna trump Madonna, and Madonna's gonna be a one-hit wonder, and it's like, music was a mess. But anyway, a little shameless self-promotion.
Thank you.
A little shameless self-promotion. Beat Face with Lindsay is going to be coming back on Thursday at 8 on IG Live. So definitely follow his Instagram, which is at Don't Worry, I'm the Joker.
Okay.
You follow him, you get to watch his little videos and see him do his makeup tutorials. He always has special guests. And they also sit around and shoot the shit, Kiki, all that good stuff. So it's definitely, a fun ride, and it's way more entertaining than watching James Charles attempt to do whatever he does.
Well, thank you.
Well, that's what I'm here for. But so Dula Peep, she came out with an album called Future Nostalgia that she did the Studio 2054. Then Kylie Minogue came out with Infinite Disco, and the two joined forces and did a version of Real Groove, which is the new Kylie single. And so that song came out, but now comes word that Kylie might be re-releasing the album. And I'm trying to think of where is the so it says that some of the names that are being thrown around that may be on the new Kylie disco re-release would be Cyndi Lauper. They'll auto-tune the shit out of her voice if she sounds that bad, but she never used to sound like that. Sophie Ellis-Bextor, who was like a UK performer, and she's been doing dance music over the years, but she also released a dance album called Songs for the Kitchen, Disco Sophie Ellis-Bextor's Greatest Hits. And
Songs for the Kitchen?
Huh?
Songs
it's called Songs from the Kitchen Disco, which is funny because didn't Kylie say that her new album is basically kitchen dance music?
Very cool.
She kind of insinuated, like she said, we can't go to clubs, we can't go to, we can't go out and party, so it's for the house, it's for the kitchen. So so they're saying that they're gonna be on it, and word on the street is they're saying that Lady Gaga's name is being thrown around. And I would love, one of the things I've been wanting to happen for the past 20 years, back when Kylie became famous with Can't Get You Out of My Head, which I should say that Fever album is about to celebrate its 20th anniversary this year. So, and that was like, even though she's been making music, that was like her big comeback record. Yeah. Because, after the Stockade Waterman thing, and then she was doing like the independent music, they were kind of counting around, and she came back and did that whole dance pop album, and everybody loved her again. And my favorite is what she did, Can't Get New Order Out of My Head at the Brit Awards, but she was on the disco disc. Well, she was on the CD or the record player. Mm-hmm. And then she started doing the whole choreography. It's everything. It's on YouTube. Definitely check it out. But I like the idea of Gaga and them possibly be on this record. I don't think it'll happen, but what do you think of a possible re-release of Disco, and what did you think of the album as a whole? I'm gonna give my opinion, but I want to hear yours first.
I think hey, re-release it. I mean, get more sales, get what you can, pump it as much as you can. Listen, I love the album. I love Kylie as well, but I love this album. I was not happy with the first single, I would admit. I think I mentioned this before to you in the past.
You did.
Not my favorite single, and I was so nervous because I'm like, this lady has been talking about this album before she was even recording it. And she was like, when she was doing the Golden Tour, she was mentioning that the next album was coming to this adult disco. And it didn't give me a disco vibe. But I'm assuming it was one of those appetizer singles, like, listen, there's a song, here it is, because you know, this artist has something coming in the works. Once she started releasing her second single and the full album dropped, spectacular. It's everything I want and more. And you know, this album she did in her home using a laptop, you know, learning beats and FaceTiming and Zooming with producers and stuff. So
yeah, she learned Logic and
Logic, which is something she's
which
never
is
done
a
before.
software where you learn how to record your vocals.
Yes,
so
100%.
she does have an engineering credit on the album.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it. I'm like, it makes me love the album even more. But it sticks to what the title is, disco. The album is disco, and I love it. It's a specific era, and you know, you can get tired of it really, really quick. But done correctly, as what she's doing, I think it's perfect. There are some people who stick with a specific theme, and after a while, it gets very tiring when it's the same look, the same aesthetic. And she doesn't have that. She released the concert, the show, the disco, but dressing or outside or doing the interviews, she doesn't have that disco look. You know what I mean? So she knows how to play this game. I mean, she's a seasoned artist anyway. But
you're saying similar to what Madonna does. Like whenever an era comes, she has to always look the part.
100%, always look the part. It gets very tiring. So after a while, like, okay, we get it. We 100% get it. And a lot of artists do that. I love when you're promoting it, but you don't get sick and tired of it. And if you want to re-release it, hey, listen, for all the hard work that she put into this album as opposed to all the other ones, because seems like she really had to really, really do her homework and get this to come out when it did. Yeah, take it for all it's worth. I just hope that it still stays within disco and it doesn't get lost in translation once you start mixing specific artists. I've never heard, I don't know much of Cyndi Lauper's music, but I know she's like a pop rock and roll type of chick. Am I right about
she
that?
was more like, her music was more like, well, her personality was always kooky, so it was kind of like kooky pop music, you know, where like girls just want to have fun, and then she would go and do ballads time after time, and then she had the song for the Goonies, so her music was always like very kooky, very fun, very pop.
Okay.
It wasn't like, you can't put her in the same league as like a Madonna or a Kylie, constantly evolving. I think Cindy got lost in the shuffle over the years because the industry propped her up as being the next big superstar from what I remember. And I watched, like, I was fairly an infant when she came out. So I don't necessarily remember that era as well as Madonna, but watching old videos and watching a lot of the behind the musics and all these different things, like I have an idea of what it was like at that time. And she they try to make her like, oh well, Madonna's gonna be a one-hit wonder, and we got Cyndi Lauper because she could sing and she could do this, and it was just like the kids wasn't really checking about her like that. Like Madonna was the big icon at the time because Madonna's work ethic was, and it still is, unlike anyone else's, which is why she had the almost, well, she's been making music for 38 years, about to come to the 40th anniversary in 2024, I believe, because I think 1984 is like when the big explosion happened. But anyway, so I like the disco album. I expected more disco on disco. I'm hoping that with the re-release, we'll get more disco songs, maybe some songs that didn't make it on the album. I wanted to focus more on what the overall theme of it is. Like, I feel like I listened to the album, it's like, there are elements in there somewhere, but I don't feel disco. There's, oh my God, what's the name of the song where it's just like, I think it's called, is it Real Groove? What's the song that goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's the weekend? I cannot stand that song. First of all, that the beat, the lyrics, everything is all, I'm like, what is it? Like, it sounds like clown music almost. Like it doesn't fit within the theme of disco. So I feel like there's some songs in there that shouldn't have been chosen.
Well, don't forget, like I said, disco is a very specific genre. That's what I'm saying. It can't be fully 100% because people can get tired of it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these pop stars use elements of R&B because pop can get very tiring. I feel like it is very disco heavy, but it's not just a disco genre. So
you can do the old late 70s, early 80s disco, but you could also be like, well, what would disco sound like in 2020? So you can take an old sound and bring a fresh take to it. So you can always experiment with different sounds and stuff. Like, there's people who do full-fledged disco tracks. Like, for example, Jessie Ware's new album, head to toe, one of my favorite albums of the year, because it's a full-fledged dance album. So she took elements of, like, you get the old school disco sound, and you get you know, a little gold frap up in there, and you get a little, you know, all these different people that come from that genre, and you hear a lot of that in there. So, but then you make it your own. So yeah, you can get tired after a while of disco, but if you bring your own flavor to it, it works. So I feel like when she can get around to finally doing this concert, I'm sure the concert will be everything, and we'll get all that whole dance disco thing. Like, I loved Infinite Disco. I thought it was a really good concert. I like what she did with Slow. Like, she gave us, you know, that sultry "Love to Love You, Baby" Donna Summer with that. I really hope that we get, oh my God, what's one of my favorite songs? I hope we get Supernova as a single.
Oh, I hope so too. And where does the DJ go?
DJ go. Yes, I need that. I need full choreography. I need everything.
Yes, that has to be a single. Those two songs you just mentioned has to be a single. Like, I'm gonna call her up tomorrow myself. Like,
oh no, who did that? The comparisons of Tina Burner.
Miss Tina Burner.
The shade.
Love her.
So yeah, I have my best, since we talking about albums and things. Do you have I have like my best picks. Like I told you, my first number one is I have the full list over at Tribe is Dua Lipa, Future's Nostalgia. Then I have Bad Bunny. Wait, you know, you already said it. Say it again.
Yo hago lo que se me da la gana.
See. I got Brandy with B7. And I have Cakes to Kill and Proper Villains with Motherland. So if y'all like rap music with over a house beat, a gay man, a butch queen rapping over some house music, definitely listen to that album. That's Cakes to Kill and Proper Villains with Motherland. I got Kylie Disco, Jessie Ware, What's Your Pleasure, Keenan Lonsdale, you know, from oh my God, The Flash, and what was the other one? Love Simon. He was also in Love Victor too. He came out with an album called Rainbow Boy. Then I have Zebra Cat's Less Is More, Tony Braxton Spell My Name, and Tove Lo Sunshine Kitty, the Poor Prince edition. So yeah, that's the whole outline, the photo, what I wrote, all that good stuff. So I don't know, do you have any picks off the top of your head? What were your favorite albums of the year?
Yeah, definitely Tove Lo. Love Tove Lo. Ellie Goulding, the Light Blue album.
Oh my God, I totally forgot she came out with an album this year.
I love it so much. Kylie Minogue, Disco. Miley Cyrus, Plastic Hearts. I'm still burning that out right now. Bad Bunny, all three. And Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa is my number one. It's so funny because you know how Spotify and Apple, they give you like end of the year, like your top music, the most played, the songs and whatnot. Number one album most played for me was Dua Lipa, Physical. The number one song most played was Physical by Dua Lipa. So that pretty much sums it up.
I wish I was burning albums. I wasn't really burning albums because it's like when I'm at the gym, I'm always listening to mixes. So I don't really listen to albums over and over and over and over per se. I need to start doing that because back in the day I used to do that, but it just seems like maybe it's an attention span thing.
Yeah.
But
are you is there any artists who you're anticipating to come out, like an album, like I want to hear this artist?
Yo, I hate you because that literally was about to be the question I was about to ask you.
I have 4.
Wait, coming out this year? Damn, who has released? Okay. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I would love to hear a new Rihanna record. Bitch, where this album been? We've been waiting like 7 damn years. I'd love a new Madonna record, but I feel like she's focused on the biopic. And I think she's focusing on music that she's going to be putting with the soundtrack. So I don't know if we'll be getting, well, maybe we will get new music or something. Maybe we'll get 2 or 3 new songs. And, she's back at Warner Brothers. And I heard she's back with Patrick Leonard, who, was a huge part of her career back in the day. So I see that happening. I don't see us getting a new album. I know Kelly Rowland is releasing an EP this year. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see if we can hear something from Beyonce. I can't think of anybody else. See, you got me off the cuff, so this is hard for me to think. Like, oh my God, I haven't heard from in a while that I would love to hear an album from.
Well, while you think about it, I'm going to tell you that
you might be able to help me.
Waiting for Shakira.
There's one.
I need Shakira. Adele. I need Adele ASAP. Justin Timberlake. Madonna. I know, but
not Justin Timberlake, but go ahead.
I love me some Justin Timberlake. I need me some Justin. And last but not least, if she never comes up with music again, I need one more Britney album. Just one Britney. And I liked Glory. I do. I love Glory. But if
you did?
I like Glory. It wasn't my favorite album. I liked Glory, but it felt it was given too much at once. Like I felt like Britney Jean was just here's just songs and boom, it was gone. And then Glory was very much like it was given to you all at once. Like one day, like the day it was released, you got the single, you got the songs, and then boom, it disappeared, and you never heard anything else from it. So it wasn't like promoted properly. I feel like they're doing the promotion now with like re-releasing it like 2-3 years later. And
well, they're doing that because Britney's not performing and the record label is trying to make money off of her, 100%. Which a lot of the hardcore fans are sort of like, let's not support the music. Speaking of which, because we were talking about this earlier, EJ, DJ, and myself, we were doing like after I did my radio show, because EJ, who was producing this show, his partner DJ produces my radio show. We were having this whole conversation about Britney and everything. We were saying like, she's refusing to perform. I know she wants to be released from the conservatorship and that sort of thing. And we were sitting there thinking like, but you want to know something? We're not excusing the fact that Jamie may have some underlining, whatever the case is going on with him and his daughter. But we also have to look at it from a standpoint of Britney has a mental illness. She is diagnosed as bipolar. She's talking about she wants to be free of this contract. And the fans are like, well, we need to free Britney and this and the other. But you don't have all the information as to, well, yeah, let's free this girl because we're a fan and she's a pop star and we love her and stuff. But it's like, you don't know if she's having manic episodes or what goes on with her behind closed doors when people aren't around. You're only getting glimpses of her with the raccoon eye makeup that she's clearly doing herself with the lights off and no mirrors in the house. And she's doing the same choreography, twisting and twirling around like she's doing like some old tired ass cheer from the white girls and Bring It On. And it's just like not working. And, I live for Britney. I think she's immensely talented, but something in this industry we was even questioning whether or not if there was a possibility, and I know people might get mad, but this is a question we should ask. What happened to her when she was growing up? Was she abused by someone in the industry or whatever the case is? Like, I was thinking she was probably, get Olivia Benson on the line. I'm thinking that there was some abuse of a sexual nature, something that happened to her. Because we know in this industry, they be turning out kids be, send them off to this famous person. They'll help them. We've heard stories about Lou Pearlman and R. Kelly and things where these people who you look at as a father figure, a mother figure, a mentor, whatever the case is, and they take advantage of that and they sexually abuse a lot of these young kids who come from broken homes or fucked up families or single parent households or whatever the case is. So I'm all for the Free Britney movement, and I hope she comes and performs again. And it'd be great to get a new album for her. But if she's not 110% there, then I'll just live with the memories.
Yeah, of course. But it doesn't hurt, wishful thinking of new Britney music. Oh, and last but not least, Gwen Stefani. My queen, my Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, I did mention, I did watch the video before we came on live.
What did you think?
And I like the nostalgia of it. I like the fact that she was, Don't Speak Era Gwen, and we got What You Waiting For Gwen, and we got, what was the other album that she came out where she had the Ann Jillian wig on?
Winded, the Sweet Escape.
Yeah, see, you knew exactly. I said Ann Jillian because that's why I think of what It's a Living with the blonde wig, the bangs,
super like, oh my god, and the with Eve, That's
Let Me Blow Your Mind.
Let Me Blow Your Mind. The Let Me Blow Your Mind era, Rich Girl era.
So we got us like she's trying to reintroduce herself to her fans and the people who haven't heard from her in a long time. As far as the song goes, I think it is a little juvenile. Like same thing I said about J-Lo and 51 years old singing a song written for a 22-year-old. But I'm looking for I'm all for adults who want to channel their
ageist right now. Ageist.
If you want to channel your inner child and make a cute little pop song, I'm all for it. But I just don't. Quite frankly, I just don't like the song. I like the video. I like, Gwen Stefani. I'm expecting a whole lot more from this new album because it's been a minute since we heard music from solo Gwen. I mean, I don't think she'll ever get back with No Doubt.
No.
But yeah, I'm here for it. You have anything else you want to add? Because we got 20 minutes left in the show.
I agree. Listen, this is it was really good. I think there's a clip that we want to go back to.
We do?
Did I read that correctly? Yeah.
I know. I saw no, that was them telling us that we have 20 minutes left on the show.
Okay.
Oh yeah, did you see the pictures of Nicki Minaj's new baby with the big old cheeks? One of the things that wasn't a read. It was like baby's got big cheeks, but I did hear something or another that I was watching on something else that they were saying something or another that that people are taking pictures of the baby and photoshopping and trying to make it look different. And I said, what are y'all doing? First of all, when you're a child, your body goes through changes and something. I don't understand why people are taking it upon themselves to do any kind of doctoring of someone's child on social media. I don't know why they're doing that, but leave it alone. Look at the picture, say you like it, then move on. Or some people who are being shady when, Beyonce released a little video of her and the kids and how they spent their 2020 and stuff. How there were people in the comments about, oh, they look so much, Rumi and Sir look so much like Jay-Z. I was like, y'all being shady. Y'all need to stop because y'all know damn well what that means when y'all be saying that.
Oh my!
I'm not going there, but y'all know what I'm saying, and I think you do.
Terrible. But
let me ask you this. Are you excited for the Wendy Williams biopic when that comes out at the end of the month? Are you watching it?
I am, and I want to. I need to go sit somewhere and see this with someone, because it's going to be good. Listen, she produced it herself. She knows what's going on. She's going to give us, just by the trailer alone, it looks like she's going to give us what we've been asking. You know what I mean? Questions are going to be answered. I'm down for it. Poor Wendy. She's as annoying as she can be at times, as arrogant as she can be at times, as sweet as she can be sometimes. She's also unstable. She is unstable.
Yeah.
Not really unstable, but the work that she does is a lot. Whether people respect her for it or not, it's not easy. And then, you being someone who do the gossip are now in the gossip and people are finding your flaws. It's hard. It's really hard.
It is. You really have to have a thick skin going in. And that's why I always, with the reads of the shades, it's all for fun, but I also try to bring in a little substance. Like we always try to come to a conclusion and be a little substantial in what we're talking about. Like we're just not going to roast and gag somebody just because, we want a viral moment. It's easy to do that. But I'm really looking forward to, I want to hear what she's got to say about what's been going on with her personally, the cheating allegations. Well, it's not allegations though. I mean, the whole baby came out of the situation. And, everything that's been going on with the drugs and the passing out at, on the show.
Yeah.
During the Halloween special, like seeing all, like this is stuff you couldn't write this. Tyler Perry couldn't have came up with this drama for one of his tight ass shows on the OWN network. So, Wendy definitely.
You just want to be attacking everyone that comes. Leave that man alone. He worked hard enough.
And sit him here telling me he don't like dick. Okay, girl. But one of the things I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this. The biopic when it comes out. I just want Wendy to give all of Wendy. Look, do any women out there really think that Tyler Perry is heterosexual?
We cannot be outing people. We're doing the same thing Tiffany is doing. You can't do that.
I mean, we know he got sweaty balls and dick. Okay, anyway, but he actually has genitals, so we could go there with that. That's not being homophobic. Okay, let me stop.
Just put some deodorant under there. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's getting a little hot. But anyway, yeah. So I'm looking to wrap this up. I'm definitely looking forward to the biopic. I'm definitely looking for the documentary because it's gonna be 4 hours. So it's a biopic and a documentary where I think she'll go in further with all the stuff she couldn't put into the movie. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Wendy's messy. Do I think like she is at the top of her game? Oh Lord. Do I think she's at the top of her game when it comes to celebrity news and gossip? No. There are so many people out there who are, I guess, bringing it better than she is. But you can't deny that she is the OG of this game. I cannot with this picture because she literally looks like E.T. in a wig in this photo. But nevertheless, I love you. I love you, Wendy.
I love Miss Wendy, but I will say this. Within like the last, I know she was going through her stuff. I get it. But my thing is, you have to respect the art of a blogger, people through the media, like the stuff that you do, the stuff that I want to do. Like, we have to educate ourselves when it comes to that too. Like, you want to gossip, you want to bring celebrity news, then you need to study up on it. Nothing pisses me off more than someone who's giving you the news and you're like, oh, what's that person's name? What's the story? Yeah, what? Like, you're so lost in the sauce, and it feels like they're mostly feeding you the information and you're delivering it. And Wendy, I expect better because she was always, since a radio show, she was always on top of it. She knew who she was talking about. She knew what the word in the streets were. And like I said, it could be because of what's going on now, but you still have a job to do. You could mess up once or twice, like we talk about, like the performances of the J-Lo's or bad vocal.
Everybody has a stumble.
But for the last year, it's like you're not involved with the story. You don't know who the people are, and you're so behind with what's going on. And I catch her sometimes. She'll say something, let's say on a Monday, she'll bring up something with the Kardashian, right? Then come Wednesday, she's bringing up the next story on the Kardashian and was like, oh, but did they ever do that? And it's like, yes, this person did do that because you said it on Monday, they did it. You know what I mean? It's just like she totally forgets what's going on. It's like, you have to be on top of what you do or you lose credibility. I get it. You establish yourself, you are where you need to be, but you're still on TV. And listen, I'm all about promoting and paying people forward and stuff like that. If you want me to promote you and you want to get those views, you need to be on top of what you do. It's like you can't say, okay, we're going to talk about this, but I really have no idea what's going on. If I'm joining you and you're going to throw and ask me questions and give my opinion, it's okay if I don't know everything because you're bringing up the topics. I'm just going to give you my opinion on it. But if I'm going to say, hey, let's talk about this, I need to be ready with it. I need to know who I'm talking about. I need to know who's involved, and I need to know what was said, and I need to make sure that the proof is backed up. Because if we're done with this show, someone's going to Google it. They'll be like, well, he just said this, and that's not what was.
Or someone will say in the comments, oh, why the hell you got this bitch on this show? This heifer don't know what the fuck they talk about. Like, there's always going to be something. So it's like, yeah, it's when you do, like, people think it's so easy to get on camera and do a show and talk about celebrity news and hot topics. A lot of stuff is off the top of my brain. I'll have and that's a skill not a lot of people have. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm just saying, improvisation is a skill. I have the, my notes, comments, all the stuff that I'm going to talk about. Like, I sent you the list of stuff that we're going to talk about. And it's like, yeah, look this up, read up on it, do your research. You have an idea what to talk about, but you're going to bring your own opinion to it. And that's all you have to ask people. There's nothing, like, I agree. There's nothing worse than someone who will get on camera and not know what the hell they're talking about or do their research. But I feel like what it is with Wendy is that she relies too much on the Hot Topics team or Norman to carry her through the show. And it's like, but wait, your name is the one on the marquee. They ain't looking at Norman. This is not Wendy and Norman show. This is the Wendy Williams show. So when your name is on the marquee, and her studio is literally around the corner from my gym. which is on 26th, and her studio is, I think, on 26th Street in between 7th and 8th Avenue. So in Chelsea. So she will go and you get on stage and it's like, but what were you doing? Like, you don't literally do anything outside the show. You're on camera for an hour and then you say you go home and you close the blinds. But she used to live in Jersey. Now she lives in Manhattan. So you busy sitting at home with your cats like you were the Black Taylor Swift, not really doing nothing. And my thing is, if I'm not having anything else going on, like, you got your documentary, you got the movie that you left Will Packer and the rest of them to handle. And if we have topics we're going to talk about, which is 5 days a week, oh, Lord, I have... She's taking us
Can we get like...
We're not going to show the video.
Sorry if I'm overstepping, but can we get that clip where she just falls? It's not funny for that aspect, but it's funny, just give it up right now for this moment. We need a Wendy... What about... disappearing from the screen?
I can't. I'm sure they'll get that. But it's just, I do feel like when you're an icon and someone, you should always step your game up. But to me, it's just like I think she's comfortable. The money is good with television. Television gives you a shit ton of money, so she's comfortable in where she's at and what she's doing. And she doesn't feel like, and we was even saying before, like, what should she do to, like, where do we see her go from here after? Because the Wendy Williams show is what it is. It's on for as long as whatever they want to keep renewing the contract. But it's like after the the documentary and the movie, where does Wendy Williams go from here? Because we were thinking like she should have taken more of like what Andy Cohen or Charlemagne did, and it's like they have their own radio shows, radio stations within, I guess, Sirius XM, whatever, or iHeartRadio, whatever the case is one or the other. I think both of them are different, whatever. But they brought people in, like Andy Cohen has like Sandra Bernhard and Bevy Smith and so many other people that he's given radio shows to within his Radio Andy umbrella. Same thing with Charlemagne. He's picked a lot of up and coming talent or people who've been doing stuff for a long time, and he's given them a platform under his umbrella, and he's giving them an opportunity and ushering them in, like basically nurturing them. Yeah. Which I said I have no problem doing too. Like anybody who I see that has a legitimate talent, I want to bring you in and usher you in. Which is why I like to use my show to bring people in.
Hence our coming up. Like, listen, exactly. We have to make it work. And that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. I think Wendy should definitely do something like that. I think she should change her show up a bit and get these bloggers, like whether it's yours or Cheryl's World. You know what I mean? Like, or
Devin Simone, who definitely brings the shade when she's on whenever she does little segments. Devin Simone used to be on The Challenge back in the day, but now she's a blogger. She comes on and she gives the celebrity news, but she also throws a little shade, which is what we live for. Says a lot of the shady things that Wendy won't. She should take those people under the wing, but I feel like Wendy's ego won't allow it.
Mariah Carey syndrome.
Yeah, that's pretty much like I feel like where her husband always blowing smoke, like, oh, you're the best, you're this, which he used to do back in the day on the radio show, it's gotten to her head where I don't think she would bring a new person in because it's competition. So instead of looking at it as like, yeah, I will forever be the icon and someone who played the game, why not bring in the new generation and nurture them, like a Devin Simone, or like you said, myself, or Cheryl's World, or any of the other people that's coming up. Because remember, she tried to do that with what the hell is this? Oh Lord! Oh, this is this is the episode where she was shit faced drunk and talking about what the hell is it? Rick Ross. Rick Ross he has many mansions.
This is funny.
Yeah, that was
this clip ever in life. I want to know.
But what was it? And then she wanna. I'm trying to remember. She was saying something or another about what were we talking about? I totally forgot because I got so distracted by. I got distracted by that mess. But yeah. So she went and I don't know. So I don't know. Y'all remind me what the hell we was just talking about. That was a mess. But yeah, so I just feel like she should nurture and bring people in and take them under her wing. But yeah, she won't do it because remember, she tried to do that with Jerry O'Connell. But
yes,
what was the Jerry O'Connell show? Because Jerry just walked into a set that was Wendy Williams set with all her furniture and stuff. her audience, her background, her music. There was nothing that set Jerry O'Connell as Jerry O'Connell. So that show quickly came and went as fast as you could say RuPaul's talk show. That was another shit show.
That was a mess.
That was bad. He thought we wanted to hear him say everybody say love all damn day. No, we wanted you in drag. We wanted, the same. I wanted the same type of talk show, but just for a wider audience that he gave us back in the day was the VH1. So I would have liked for that to have happened. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I took forever to get around to it. But where do you see her going after this? Because I can't see it. I can't see like what's the next chapter.
She'll probably want to retire. I have a strong feeling. She's not saying it. Like she's kind of like showing it without saying it. I mean I know she's mentioned she has a lot of tricks up her sleeve. She got surprise coming. The first one being this movie. Maybe who knows, a book or something. I don't know, but I feel like
I can see a book.
When he's ready to like not hang it up and just be like resting in her bed all the time, but like hang this up. You know what I mean? She's gonna do the show for as long as her contract lets her. That's what she loves to do. But I feel like, in my honest opinion, I feel like, let's say they said, hey, next year, this is it. We're not going to renew your contract. You're going to finish off and give her the right send-off. She'll be more than happy. She'll be more than happy with it. In my opinion, I feel that.
Yeah, because I think like she's trying really hard to keep going, but she's ill. I'm not talking about mentally or whatever. I'm talking about that she's got the lymphedema, then she has all these different ailments that's going on with her, and that's got to take its toll on your body physically when you're doing a show 5 days a week and then you're running back and forth and doing all these different things. So it takes its toll on your body, and if you physically can't do it anymore, you can retire. Like, she made so much money from this show. She'll be financially successful or stable doing other things, but I do hope that she reconsiders and will come up with a way of, bring some people up under your wing, mentor them, and then you can make money off of these other girls that are doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or
I feel like she should take not that she needs it, but I mean for audience, more audience, I think she should bring Monet Exchange, because I love the Monet Exchange show.
Oh my God.
It's very
I'm glad you said that. Yes. I do love the exchange rate. I've been talking about that damn show for the longest. Like, I really feel like the internet hence this show, has allowed a lot of people to create, especially under quarantine and everything, has allowed a lot of us to create content. Yeah, you, myself, us together, so many others.
Yes.
The internet has allowed us to be like, you know what? What is it that I'm passionate about and I want to just talk about? I may not have the biggest audience, but the more you continue to do it, you grow it. I mean, I got a lot of, since, constantly being consistent and stuff, because I just had the YouTube channel and I would do little videos every now and again. But I was like, let me finally be consistent with putting a lot of stuff out and see what happens and take it from there. And since I've been constantly doing this, I've gotten a lot of opportunities. I hosted an event last week on Zoom with, oh my God, what the hell was it called? Oh, the 2020 year-end review. That was a 3.5-hour show that I hosted, by the way. Drunk. I wasn't Andy Cohen drunk, but nevertheless, I held it together. But overall, it's like, yeah, I just hope that, good luck, Wendy. That's all I have to say. Because otherwise, I'll be rambling on forever about this shit. But yeah, good luck. We love you. And like we say, if anybody out there has any content or you have a passion, take this opportunity to go out there and create it. All you got to do is turn your phone on and see what happens.
I agree.
You might be a little nervous. It might be a little messy in the beginning, but practice makes perfect. And do your research. Because if you don't do your research, you'll be out here looking like a damn fool in these streets. But anyway, I just want to say, let's wrap up this show. Well, thank you all for watching. Definitely follow me on all my social media handles, Kris Avalon, OFFI1. We're going to also throw up Lindsay's handles and stuff so you can follow him as well.
Please. And thank you for having me. So much fun.
Of course. So I want,
Hope to come back soon.
I want to do, well, we should try to, with our schedules,
Yes.
Trying to find time to do this more often because if you're followers, my followers, everybody who's been chiming in and commenting, thank you all for your little comments on the side and saying your little laugh emojis and your clap emojis and the giving your comments as well. Because I said this is an interactive talk show, so I want everybody to come in and interact. So once again, Kris Avalon. Also say a special thanks to my special guest, Lindsay Aguilera. Until then, ciao, darling. Remember when Nene Leakes did this?